Hey folks, I just wanted to give you a video about your summative portfolio. This is due on the second last day of the course, which is Friday, June 16th. And this portfolio is worth 30% of your final mark, and it incorporates everything that we've done throughout the entire semester. So I'm going to walk you through it. This is your title page, pretty self-explanatory, and the table of contents is all done for you. As things move, like if you add things and it goes onto another page, the pages will automatically change as well. So you just need to keep these black headings that you see. Part A is the process. So this is the work that we've done on February 24th. This is the work that we did on March 29th. And this is the work that we've done on April 25th. So this was done to the Dropbox, and these two things were done to the summative discussion board. This is going to be done later in June, so I want you to do that later. Once you're finished your product, which should be very, very soon if you're not done already, like this weekend, you're going to write a one-paragraph summary just explaining what you did. You're going to include pictures or any evidence, like if you created a blog or anything like that. If you do submit pictures, you need to put captions under your images to explain them to the audience. Elements and principles of designs and tools and technology is question 4 and question 5 from your work. And this is actually going to need to turn blue. Some of you already noticed this. I didn't have this done on May 16th because some of you were behind, so we didn't get there. But what I want here is you to talk about the skills and techniques that you needed to know how to do this task and what skills and techniques would be helpful for you to have in order to do a better job next time. So I'll write that down in the news item, don't worry. Part C is the big part that's all blue. This is linking to the social sciences. So you have this heading here, and then you're going to write a well-developed paragraph or series of paragraphs here to link to the specific strand. So questions to consider. Some of these may be useful to you, and some of them might not make sense for the product that you created. So use them if you'd like, or if you have another way to link to fashion history, go for it. So I'm not going to read them out for you here, but basically you're looking for how your fashion career or product has changed over time, and what innovations are needed to create your product today. Because obviously creating a t-shirt or a shirt 150 years ago is way different than it is creating a t-shirt now. Fashion influences. So there's some questions here. This is where we were talking about in Unit 2, the 3 levels of fashion: haute couture, ready to wear, and mass market. You could talk about a fashion center, depending on what you're looking at. You could be talking about different famous professionals. So if you're a makeup artist, what are some famous makeup artists that influence your career or your product? Specialized markets is talking about who is your product intended for? Is it intended for someone specifically? And if it's not, how could it be adapted for a specialized market? Like if you're making flower headbands, for example, a specialized market is children. So how could your product be adapted to suit a child or be safe for a child? So think about a specialized market that could benefit from your product if there isn't one that benefits from your product already. The last two are things that we are currently doing in Unit 5, so hopefully you have enough information from the content to do this. If your product uses textiles, then this is a lot easier. But if your product doesn't use textiles, how could you address global textile production in your summative? So for those of you who are doing advertising, maybe you could address how textiles are produced in an ad. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that, but how could global textile production be linked? So if you are doing, let's say, flower headbands, I use that for an example again because that's the only one that's coming to my brain right now. There's textiles that are used for the fabric flowers. So how does that have to do with it? If you're doing fashion blogging, like I say here, a blog post could feature an innovative textile production method or something about the textile production market. So this one's going to be the one that's probably going to cause you to think the most because some of your products might not be obviously linked to global textile production. The last one is globalization and social responsibilities. Are there any rules or laws that affect your product or creation of your product? How does a global world, so being able to get stuff readily from other countries, make things easier or harder for your product? How can your product be more environmentally friendly? Or how could you highlight sustainability in your work? So I'm looking for a meaty paragraph or series of paragraphs for each of these. And if you have any outside sources, you need to put them in your summative. So you put them in your works cited here, and you should have an in-text citation, whether it's an image or whether it is information. There needs to be an in-text citation. So I'm going to be looking, if you have something in your works cited, I'm going to be scrolling up and seeing where that in-text citation is. This is super, super important. Last but not least is the rubric. This is worth 30% of your mark, and each part is 3%. 10% you've been doing over the course of the semester. 10% you did in the middle, and 10% pretty much you're doing at the end. So the summative has been done. I'm going to be looking at each of the parts and giving you an overall mark out of 30 for 30%. So I really hope that helps. Like I said, the one area that's kind of changed is this part here, procedures, skills, and techniques. And I will post a couple of questions that you could consider when doing this on your own. So if you do have any questions, please, please, please let me know. It is going to be a push to the finish. We're going to finish Unit 5 early next week on Monday. Then you're going to be working on your summative from Tuesday to the following Friday, making sure it's nice. You're going to get a chance to peer edit, look at some other people's summatives, maybe get some cool ideas for yours, and hopefully get the best mark possible. The last thing that I wanted to mention is that the term work, so Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, is going to be closed as of June 12th. So that is next Sunday. This allows me to get all the marking done for all those late assignments or redone assignments that you've been doing. And it allows me to be able to give you a term mark, hopefully before your summative, so you know where you sit. And then once I get that summative on the 16th, I'm going to be pushing to mark it as soon as possible. And it cannot be late. It can't be late because my marks are due and they need to go to your university. So it's a real push. So the 16th is the end of the game for us, and the 19th will just be a day where you'll log in and make sure there were no problems with your summative. So I hope that helps, and we'll talk to you later.